What is going on, guys? It is Lakers all day. You know how we do it in here. It's all about us. And the game's not even over, but I'm here. Here I am recording in the third quarter. And you see on the screen it's 84 to 61. Yes, that's the end of the third, but currently it's 97 to 66. Yes, you heard that right. The Lakers are losing by 31 points. As I was watching this game, I'm like, you know what? It's just one game. Um, they don't have LeBron. I get it. You can't win every single game without your best player. And after all, they did beat the Heat. But for you to get blown out like this, that is my problem. It's one thing to lose to a team like the Timberwolves, but to get blown out to the Timberwolves. I mean, I think the Timberwolves are okay. They're not a playoff team by any means, but they're okay, right? They have a couple decent players like Anthony Edwards, D'Angelo Russell, Karl-Anthony Towns. I get all that. But to get blown out and to show no sense of urgency in the second half, especially in the third quarter, that's the pathetic part. Um, it was a good game in the first half. The Lakers were winning the entire time. It seemed like they're doing the thing. I'm like, okay, great. They're gonna go on a winning streak. Let's do this thing. But here we are, down 28 points in the fourth quarter, and our defense was pathetic. We couldn't score. We went on a 6 to 7 minute scoring drought in the third quarter. I mean, this is my thing. Okay, you can't play like that. You can lose. I'm going to excuse you guys from losing, but do not play like this. I'm going to go over a couple of players, but it's kind of embarrassing at this point. I don't care if we don't have LeBron or not, okay? I'm not going to go as far as to say that we should trade this player or to fire this coach or whatever the case is, because the people who say that don't know basketball. In order to build something special, you need to have consistency. You need to have chemistry. You need to learn how to go through all the highs, all the lows. You need to go through that challenge. You can't cheat yourself out of that process. And I understand it, but you can't get blown out like this at the same time. Um, so yeah, let me just talk about a couple of players and then we'll just go from there, okay? I'm going to start off with Anthony Davis. I think he had a pretty solid game. I mean, so far he has 22 points, 8 rebounds, 3 blocks, 3 steals. I'm not going to put any blame on Anthony Davis whatsoever, because Anthony Davis, this entire season, he's been injured, he's been playing sick, whatever the case is. And guess who's number one in the points in the paint this season? Anthony Davis. You wanted him to be physical. You got it. He's been physical. He's been playing really well this season. So I'm not going to sit here and blame Anthony Davis for anything. Russell Westbrook, I mean, he's playing okay. I mean, he has 5 turnovers, so that's obviously he needs to learn how to limit those, especially on a team like this. So I'm not gonna go crazy. But my point is that when you go on these 7 minute scoring droughts and when your defense is pathetic, allowing 41 points in a quarter, you're not going to win many games. And it's absolutely embarrassing that you're losing to a 3-7 team like this. Okay, I've mentioned it before and I'll say it again. You can lose, but you can't lose to the Timberwolves like this. And honestly, it was an off night. It was a off night for a lot of these guys. I mean, you had Carmelo Anthony shooting 1 of 12 from the field. Malik Monk shooting 3 of 10 from the field. Kent Bazemore, once again, Kent Bazemore is playing like absolute garbage. I don't understand it. Kent Bazemore, yes, I've been seeing less and less minutes for Kent Bazemore. It's a good thing. But all in all, he might be the odd man out, and I think deservingly so he should be the odd man out, because Kent Bazemore has been absolute trash for us. Kind of like what Troy Daniels was a couple years ago, if you guys remember. He wasn't bad, nor was he really doing much. It seemed like he was just running out there a lot of the time. I think Kent Bazemore might be that odd man out. But like I said, you can't lose like this, Lakers. In 2020, when you guys lost, you guys barely got blown out. Maybe the most notable times you guys got blown out was the game against the Nuggets, the game before Christmas, right? There was no LeBron. Okay, yeah, and it's against the Nuggets. Fair. They were a title contender that year. But other than that, you don't get blown out like this. I mean, first of all, I don't like it when the Lakers get blown out. But to the Timberwolves, I mean, that's just a slap in the face. And there's got to be a sense of urgency moving forward. I know it's hard to win basketball games with basically 9 players on your team. But By no means. If you beat the Heat and if you compete every single game without LeBron James, why is this happening? That's what I fail to understand. You know, Karl-Anthony Towns was making 3-pointers, looking like Steph Curry out there, just chucking up a bunch of threes. And honestly, like moving forward, I think the Lakers will be fine. I think this was an embarrassing effort. I think that, you know, the Lakers should be ashamed of themselves for this game, and they will feel that. You're going to hear it in the press conference. You're going to hear players like Anthony Davis, like Russell Westbrook. They're going to put the blame on themselves, and deservingly so. But moving forward, I expect the Lakers to play better than this and to not have a repeat of this. Because if you want to be a championship team, you need to learn how to prevent these kind of games from occurring. Yes, it's happened. This game it's happening, but I don't want to see it again. Okay? Especially not to a team like the Timberwolves. I mean, how do you beat the Heat and then you're losing to the Timberwolves like this? I get it's an off night. Chances are Malik Monk and Carmelo Anthony will not combine to shoot 4 of 23 from the field again and 1 of 15 from the 3 again. And it came to a certain point where the Timberwolves were just making everything, and the Lakers got desperate to make a comeback that they were chucking up threes themselves. They were turning the ball over. They weren't focused. They were not playing their best basketball. Seems like they had already surrendered. But like I said, it was embarrassing, and I better not see it again. But just because I'm calling this embarrassing does not mean that I want Frank Vogel fired. It does not mean that I want Russell Westbrook traded. People need to relax on that. Because when you think about a coach like Frank Vogel, who has coached title contending teams, right? Like the Pacers to the Eastern Conference Finals. He coached us to a championship. Then you got Russell Westbrook. We know the type of talent he is. And this isn't even our full team. Yes, it was an embarrassing effort. I expect better effort moving forward. And this isn't the first time I've seen a lack of effort, a lack of energy, right? I mean, we saw that Portland game where they just got absolutely whooped, right? The final score might have not said the whole story. But if you watch the game, the Lakers got blown out by the Blazers. Straight up they did. So I don't want to see it again. I don't want to see this again. I don't. Because if you're going to win a championship, like I mentioned before, you can't keep getting blown out like this. Disgusting. Absolutely disgusting. But it's just one game. That's where I stand on this. I know it's a little conflicting if you think about it, but if you try to like take a positive away from this game, first of all, there are no positives. The only positive that you can take away from this is that this game only counts for one game in the standings. So the Lakers really need to establish themselves in the standings. You know, I know it's a long season. It's only 13 games. But every game will matter, and every game is important. You know, you heard LeBron. He's mentioned before that these October, November games matter a lot in terms of building chemistry. So you got to give it your all. You can't come out here and give 50% effort in the third quarter. That wasn't even 50% effort. I don't even know what that was. You know, when I record these games, my reaction when the game is still going on, I mean, that's because I've seen enough. There's no effort, no urgency, no pride. I mean, think about this. All the people who went to go watch that game and you basically gave up. So yes, you should be ashamed of yourself for this game. But moving forward, I don't want to see it again. It is just one game, but I'm done with it. Stop getting blown out, and don't get blown out to the Timberwolves. Out of all teams, the Timberwolves. But that's all I have for this video. If you guys enjoyed it, drop a like. Comment down below what your guys' thoughts were on the Lakers getting blown out by the Timberwolves. And subscribe for more. Alright guys, peace out and take it easy.